On today's First Roar, we're here to talk about the Carolina Panthers joint practice with the Cleveland Browns. Here are my highlight takeaways. First thing first, I want to say prayers go out to Jaycee Horn, who was in a solo car accident yesterday. He did not practice today. He had stitches in his hand. It was on the corner of Mint Street and I believe Moorhead, if I'm not mistaken. So prayers up to him. He's all right. It seemed like he's on Twitter. He was kind of even joking about the matter a little bit, but he's in good shape. I don't know his status as far as Friday, whether or not he'll play or not, but prayers up to him. Now, Jaycee Horn, not Jaycee Horn, but today I gotta say I'm proud of Bryce. We've seen kind of like what I've been telling you guys as far as him growing, developing, coming back from tough plays, incompletions, stuff of that nature. But the connection between TMac and Bryce Young is special. And if they continue to rep it, okay, the more you rep something, the better you become at it. You're going to be having probably the next, I dare say, Steve Smith aura. I don't want to say Steve Smith or, the way he plays, but that kind of aura, okay? Early on, they were kind of out of sync. They were in the red zone. I believe it was 7-on-7. And he kind of, he dropped the ball, right? Bryce put a beautiful back shoulder throw. He dropped it. Those rookie mistakes, you're going to have concentration lapse, stuff like that. But they came right back. Beautiful slant in the red zone, and he caught a touchdown. And you can really see TMac why they took him in the top 10, right? This guy is a special talent. And I think the most part that you learned today was Bryce was looking towards him, right? So Bryce was literally, he wasn't peppering him the ball. He was throwing it all at him, right? That was his favorite target by far today. And that's good to know, because when you have that caliber wide receiver, you expect for him to be used. Now, would that get him into trouble, maybe during the regular season as far as force feeding him? To me, if he's open, let it go. That's the mindset, let it go. Let them put the earnest on them to stop it, okay? If he's open, you sling it, and I'm proud of him for that, right? So up and down period, but T-Mac and Bryce Young's chemistry looks ever strong. Miles even took to the podium after practice and spoke on the difference in Bryce Young since the last time they seen him, and it's growth, right? He seems like he's more comfortable in his offense. Bryce alluded to what the connection in T-Mac he has today was more so about schematic versus him, going out there just looking to throw it to him. They were literally taking what was available. So we all know the secondary for the Browns is pretty daunting, even though Greg Newsome was limited today in joint practice, which is a second cornerback. He's learning not to force things, right? This is what you want to see, growth and development. If it's there, it's there. Take what the defense gets you, right? You work the defense, right? So high to low, you know what I mean? If they take off the high, you come underneath, take the low, right? You don't want to be like Brett Favre or anybody else and just go out there and sling it. You want to be able to manage the game, but also be able to recognize where your mismatches are. And if that means a bunch of crossing routes or underneath routes, so be it. If it's there, take it. You know what I mean? So I seen the poise today. I really seen it. It wasn't perfection. There were some mistakes, and I'm okay with that. But against this really good Cleveland secondary, man, especially during drill 7-on-7, even 11-on-11 period. I mean, he looked comfortable, right? He looked like he was actually going through his reads. He looked like he was trying to find the best the read possible for the play. My second favorite thing today was Jalen Croker. I'm high on Croker. If you watch my previous video, I told you outside of Hunter Renfrow and Adam Thielen, the most receiver who I trust the most is Jalen Croker. Today, during a 7-on-7 period, him and Andy Dalton found a connection in the end zone as well. He literally made a beautiful catch where he plucked it right off the defender's shoulder pad as they were going up for it, man. So, this wide receiver room may be getting busy this year. It's gonna be interesting to see who they keep, how many they keep, and who actually gets a lot of playing time here, right? If we're all about the best possible guy on the field, then it don't matter where you've been drafted or if you're undrafted. It's who's making plays, right? And Croker's he's a reliable target. I'm telling you, man. A lot of people probably think I'm gassing him because he's having such a good camp. If you go back and look to last year, he was doing good during the regular season when he had his opportunity, right? So it's good to see him go out there, even though it's with the second team. He's still making highlights. He's trying to earn his spot. Now, for as much good as the Panthers did today, they did have a little bit of a errand issue here. And during the second team period, there was like 3 false starts and also two delay of games. And I blame that on literally the quarterback here, right? You got to get in and out the huddle, right? You have an ample amount of time to get the play in. The false start is literally, I think that's more so about nerves, okay? So all off season, you've been lined up against one another. You finally got a new team in here. It feels good. You really want to make an impression. A lot of guys fight for the jobs. I think it's nerves, right? So this is something I hope doesn't carry over to the off season. I know Coach has been preaching a lot about toughness. That's preach discipline, right? Discipline and focus. That's preach that just as much as toughness, right? So I think at times this team could have a memory lapse here when it comes to not being able to stay focused here. And that's what you get with a young team. You know, last year was a little bit more of a veteran-led team. You got a lot of young guys out here, and you respect for the veterans that we do have to kind of bring it back in check. You don't want always the coach saving your guys, right? You know, the quarterback should be putting guys in the huddle. I remember a couple of days ago, Jaden Daniels threw Austin Eckler out of the huddle for not being lined up right. I need to kind of see players hold each other accountable and not just rely on coaching and all that. Okay, now you're ready to fire off. I know you're ready to get after it. I even know that things are coming at you a million miles per hour, right? Plays, and you're looking for reads and make sure you got to pick up your guy. But we got to be disciplined. We got to be sound. And we got to be focused. My favorite takeaway for today, you guys going to love this. This defense came to play. I'm telling you, I said it for the second time. This linebacking core is for real. A lot of people make this linebacking core seem like they're so weak. I told you before, DJ Warner will be a defensive player for us to come back. He'd be like the comeback player of the year for us, right? Warner, Trevion Wallace, you got Princey Manley, Bobby Brown, and even Cam Jackson got busy today. They got busy in drills, and they also got busy in 11-on-11. I don't think they allow for a single positive carry today. I could be wrong here, but I don't think they allow for a single positive carry. They were meeting guys in the backfield, and that's phenomenal when it comes to stopping this run, right? One of the worst things we had last year was not being able to stop the run. So Cam Jackson, literally, the guy we picked up from Florida, big guy, flatline a Browns offensive lineman. It was wild. We bull rushed him, man. It was just crazy. So that get me hyped, bro. I'm hyped. I'm hyped about that kind of stuff, bro. You know, that's my Carolina, right? So, you know, back in the day when we had the Chris Jenkins, the Brinson Buckners, and all those good folks there, and, you know, we would run stuff. We ain't gonna just come up in here and run all over us. So, man, good thing to see that this defense is alive. I told you, man. I don't know really how I can quite feel about this offense. You know what I mean? Because they had their highs and lows too. But one thing I know is, if anything happens, this defense is going to be playing with passion, and they're going to be playing with aggression. You know what I mean? I think they're going to come to show up. You know, and I think they're going to put it on Bryce, right? A lot of people was crying last year about this defense not stepping up for Bryce. I don't think you're going to have that issue this year. Maybe not. Maybe the secondary, right? Michael Jackson had a good day today as well. Had a couple of pass breakups with Dante Jackson being out, right? So he's looking like he's proving his weight in gold. Although it was against Cedric Tillman, who, you know, former Vol there, man, but, you know, he's not a legit, you know, star to me. But hey, man, he went out there and did his job, so I can't take that from him, right? This defense is special, man. Just take my word for it. I'm looking at this linebacking core mainly. I like Wanham so much. You know, I told you that's my comeback player. Trevion Wallace, dog, man. And then you also got Scorton and Princey Manley, man. I think I'm gonna buy me a Umanley jersey. I'm over this. Umanley's you got me, dog. You got my nose wide open. If my nose get wide open, man, I'll be like 20. Yeah! I'll be high! Yeah! Woo! I'm high on Umanley, dog. I feel good about him, man. He's, you know, I'm like, yo, Mississippi? Crooked eye. I mean, man, Mississippi, all right. And then, of course, you got Scorton. But today's joint practice, defense showed up, linebacking core showed up, and this defensive line showed up. And I think you're going to be real surprised when it comes to Friday's preseason game. And with that being said, the defense did have a couple play lapses right here when it comes to the Browns offense. You know, the vet, Joe Flacco, had a beautiful pass to Jerry Jeudy, left a couple people in the dust when it comes to him getting open there. So, again, that secondary, if I got to say what's our Achilles heel, it's probably going to be that more than likely. But, you know, again, Flacco's a veteran, Jerry Jeudy's a veteran, and he can get hot. Kenny Pickett, small hands Pickett, was able to link up with Cedric Tillman in the end zone for a touchdown. So, in red zone period. So we got to kind of work on some things in that secondary, right? You know, it kind of scares me. I know Jaycee Horn went down with a car accident, and prayers up to him once more. But if he were to go down with any kind of injury this year, it might be a rough season. And that's why I kind of was harping this draft to kind of get a cornerback, get us a top-level cornerback, right? I wish we could have traded back. Instead of getting TMac, we could have traded back. Could have got the kid that went to Arizona from Michigan, Will Johnson. Could have got him, and then turn around. We still could have had other options on the table here, man. That cornerback decision may come back to bite us here, because without Jaycee Horn, and you know, Mike Jackson's okay. You know what I mean? I think he's suitable. He's not no bum, man. But you know, if Jaycee Horn were to go down, are you really relying on Mike Jackson to lock up your number ones, right? You know, a guy who TMac has already, you know, pretty much had his way with in camp. So, yeah, we had some room for practice today. We had some room for practice today when it came to our secondary. If I had to summarize today's practice, I got to say that it was a solid win for the Panthers, right? Some good, some bad, but ultimately, you know, given the weather, it was rainy, kind of stopped for a little bit. I think we got solid production. Now, Derrick Brown wasn't out there. You know what I mean? He's still recovering. And they had a couple of guys missing as well. Zach Zinter, their guard. So, both teams are dealing with, you know, minor injuries. And they're trying to be smart about it. But to see what this defense was able to do without Derrick Brown, I mean, listen, if they're doing that without Derrick Brown, add him to the puzzle and now add more production. So, that, to me, like, seeing this against a live opponent lets me know that we're in the right direction. You know, even if it may not be this year, I want you to kind of taper your expectations. Don't feel like, you know, if we don't make the playoff or we don't win the Super Bowl this year, then it's a wash. I want you to kind of look for the growth and development, right? At least for the defense, right? When it comes to the quarterback play, I think you can hold him a little more, you know, far as his production, you need to hold him to the fire a little more. But from the defensive side of the ball, just look at how well we grow. You're going to be surprised. I promise you, this defense probably going to carry us to about 6-7 wins here, man. And if Bryce comes out playing consistently, he probably could carry us to another 2 or 3 more wins. It all depends. But this joint practice was efficient, man. I got to tell you that. And you can tell that this team who was the better team. Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Huntley, Kenny Pickett, those guys were hit or miss. I think Shedeur had like 1 or 2 passes, and he had one of those being an incompletion. Then he had a run. So I don't know if they're trying to keep him under wraps or what, man. But not too much out of the rookie there, you know what I mean? And Dylan Gabriel as well. So can we say it was a quality look against their quarterbacks? Well, Flacco, for the most part, solid quarterback, you know what I mean? I won't say he's a star or nothing. You look at Kenny Pickett. I'm not saying he's a star either, but these guys in the National Football League, and they're decent enough to give us a solid look, you know what I mean? But what you're seeing out of joint practice today, I think it's pretty much a replica of what you're going to see out of it Friday. This defense is going to dominate this offense. I don't care who's starting or not. And I think you're going to see Bryce take a couple shots. He did confirm, Coach Canales did confirm that they will play about 12 plays or equivalent to about 2 series. So we'll see. We'll see. I would expect at least one of those series for him to take at least two D shots, right? See if it's down there. But this connection between TMac is so unfair, man. So unfair. I didn't hear much about Xavier Legette. Again, that's a little bit concerning for me. You know, haven't heard much about him. Yeah, hopefully we can see him pop out in preseason game number 1 here, man. But all in all, a W day, right? W day for health, right? Nobody got really banged up here. W day for our production. And a W day for learning, right? So you got to count these in the books, man. Get in the comment section. I'm the host of Run the Guy, also known as the Big Cat. My 95ers, put your paws up. Let me hear you roar. This is a channel by a fan for the fans, restoring the roar. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow me on the Discord. Join the free Discord where we can be like a community, talk football during the season, during the preseason, whatever you want to do there. Don't be sure to make sure you listen to the Spotify podcast here. We're gonna be dropping every week during the regular season as well. Y'all get in the comment section, man. Let me know how you feel. Was it a W day? Who showed out? Who didn't show out? Who disappointed you? What do you think about this defense? What do you think about the connection with TMac? All right, y'all let me know in the comment section. As always, man, one love, and we'll catch you till next time.